Vote the president in, and now they're feeling left out. Americans 25 and under are being called the lost generation. That's because they're suffering unemployment levels like no one else, and those who have a job are seeing their paychecks squeezed. Michelle, you say Obamanomics may be one of the blames.
Yeah, and it also has to do with, a lot of these young people voted for him because they thought he was going to come in and fix the student loan crisis. But he hasn't done anything about that. All he did was freeze the interest rates. And interest rates aren't the problem. It's the rising cost of tuition. And if Obama wants to fix that, he needs to start rethinking government subsidies, because government subsidies are the ones who are driving up the cost of tuition, and they're diminishing the return on investments for graduates, because what it's doing, it's creating an artificial demand for college.
Sure.
So not only are kids not having a job, they have a ton of student loan debt, and they don't know what to do. I mean, there's nothing to do.
Yeah, and it's not just student loans. We talk about everything. Ebony, President Obama has overseen the largest transfer of wealth between from the haves to the have-nots in history, yet unemployment remains elevated. Poverty levels are at 50-year highs in the African-American community. People under 25 approaching 40% unemployed.
Yeah, that's inexcusable, Eric. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for the president, but I am going to give him some credit for doing a little bit more than Michelle did. I believe that, when we talk about student loan forgiveness legislation, when we talk about the Obamacare provision that allows young people under the age of 26 to stay on their parents' policies, those things do give some fiscal breathing room. And I know, for one, I wish they had that provision when I came out of law school, because I was struggling. However, I think the big thing that we're missing about our generation and where we're getting it wrong, Michelle's right. We go to school and we don't know what to do when we get out, because we are not learning skill sets, Eric, that transfer into dollars and cents. And that's one reason we're lagging behind.
Hold on, guys. In fairness, you're blaming the schools now. You're saying our young people aren't learning the skill sets. And I'm going to say, and let me bring Jonathan in here. I'm going to say we spend a whole heck of a lot of money trying to fix the economy, yet the jobs aren't showing up. Why is that?
The jobs aren't up, and the people it's hurting is the young people specifically. I mean, Ebony, you mentioned that you would have been helped by the president's student loan forgiveness project. I don't think you would. In fact, it's pretty creepy. It's almost like indentured servitude. Inherent in it is a promise to work for government or a nonprofit for the next 10 years. I mean, not to mention the regulation, Eric, that have put the jobless rate for people under 25, either underemployed or unemployed, above 50%. I mean, this is the net result of Obama's egalitarianism, his collectivism, his calls for self-sacrifice. It's hurt the youth more than anyone else.
Hang on, Ebony. Let me get Wayne in here. Wayne, there are a lot of young people with buyer's remorse right now. You surprised?
No, I don't think it's just the young people. I don't think they're being discriminated against. My God, you just talked about the fact that they're going to have student loan. They're going to allow the student loans to, they don't have to pay them back, all kinds of things. They're like, everybody's being discriminated against. You got 47% of the people in the United States who don't pay any taxes whatsoever. I mean, it's a Keynesian economic theory. They are sacrificing ideology or using ideology to undermine everything. After 4.5 years, this man has been in office, and you still have unemployment in excess of 7%. You got people like Paul Krugman, who writes in the New York Times about, we have to have Keynesian economics. This is what works. Well, he's a moron. It doesn't work, and we've had 4.5 years to prove that.
Let me get Michelle in here. Michelle, President Obama was the first president elected with a major push with social media. A lot of young people were involved in that. Now they're looking at some 15% unemployment.
Yeah, and you know what? Back to what Wayne's saying. Wayne's saying that young people aren't being discriminated against. I mean, look at Obamacare. In order for Obamacare to work, not only do young people need to sign up for Obamacare, we need to be overcharged for it, because we're the ones who are going to pay more in order to subsidize all the older, unhealthy, sick people. So to say that we're not being unfairly targeted, we are being unfairly targeted.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Michelle Fields, thank you very much. Ebony K. Williams, thank you very much as well. Thanks for joining us this week.